Writer and director J.J. Abrams of Star Wars Episode 9 is set to deliver tons of twists and turns and surprises in order to shock the audience for this movie. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the biggest concerns about this film is, of course, exactly what will be lost in this story. Now, in The Last Jedi, we saw the destruction of the Skywalker lightsaber, we saw the death of Luke Skywalker himself, and among other things as well. And now, going into Episode 9, a lot of people are very worried about General Leia, Lando Calrissian, the droids, Chewbacca, and even the Millennium Falcon, which brings us to the subject for today. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a space battle sequence involving a hint of the destruction of the Millennium Falcon involving Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca. Specifically, a description of the Falcon in space during a major space battle over a green planet. The top of the Falcon is burning and has flames shooting out the top of it. The next goes over the Falcon entering the atmosphere of a mysterious planet that is very Earth-like, and eventually crash landing in a similar fashion to how it crash landed on Starkiller Base. The Falcon now has Chewbacca and Lando outside of the Falcon, examining the damage with smoke coming out the top of the Falcon itself. It appears to have significant damage to the point where it may be destroyed, or it needs repairs from R2-D2 or even Rey at that matter. So what's really intriguing about all of this is that the Falcon will indeed have a part in a major space battle in Episode 9. But the thing that does have me a little bit worried here is, of course, this seems to be a big hint about the Falcon actually being destroyed in Episode 9. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this could most definitely line directly up with how the final resting place of the Millennium Falcon is, of course, on the planet Batuu over at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, there's been a lot of talk that Episode 9 may very well tie into the theme park itself, where the Falcon is actually going to just sit there at the park, and that's a part of the overall narrative of the Star Wars franchise and where the Falcon now stays. So could this moment tie into the actual theme park for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? It's a huge possibility for sure. Now, in my opinion, you can't destroy the Falcon. You just can't. In my opinion, I think it's too iconic of a piece in the Star Wars franchise. It's almost as if its own character, right? If you think of the Falcon, it's practically its own character in the entire Skywalker saga and in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So with that being said, I think that the proper way to do things, and I actually did mention this before recently today, is that they should actually have Lando Calrissian actually take the Falcon and fly off into the sunset with him actually surviving. This way, you know, the Falcon lives, Lando lives, and it all pretty much ends where it actually started, with Lando Calrissian, as we saw in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So, with that being said, I think what's happening here is that either the Falcon is basically totaled, or another thing here is that it needs heavy repairs by R2-D2 or even Rey. We do know that Rey, in one of the descriptions that we went over yesterday, is actually repairing parts of the Falcon, so this sequence could possibly connect to that sequence in which Rey is trying to fix it up and get it running again, and all the internal parts of the Falcon are no longer working. Now, that to me would be truly upsetting in Episode 9 to witness such an event like that, because the Falcon itself is so iconic. Look at how many people reacted to when the Skywalker lightsaber split into two pieces in The Last Jedi. Now, thankfully, that's actually going to be reforged in Episode 9. J.J. Abrams is fixing the actual Anakin Skywalker lightsaber and putting it back into one piece in the hands of Rey, at least for a portion of the film. Rey could also have a new lightsaber in this movie at some other point in time. Maybe by the time the end of the movie arrives, there's an actual time jump where we do get to see a different time period between the First Order and the Resistance. So what do you guys think about this overall? Because I think that, you know, things that should not be touched in the Star Wars franchise is, of course, Chewbacca, the droids, and, of course, the Millennium Falcon. I think that those three things need to actually stay where they are and not be touched or messed around with, and as long as they do that, I think everything will be fine in Episode 9. As far as the Falcon goes, you know, we do know that it's going to be engaging in heavy space battles in Episode 9. There's in or around 2 major duels in this actual movie when it comes to lightsaber stuff. But when it comes to space battles, so far we know of one major one between the First Order, the Resistance, Maz Kanata and her pirates, and more. So I honestly am very excited to see this whole all-out war in the War to End All Wars format in Episode 9, as John Boyega has said before in the past. It really seems like it's going to be an Avengers Infinity War situation here, where there is a lot at stake, right? In Avengers, it was all about saving the universe, you know, and now it's all about saving the galaxy, really, because we know that the First Order is trying to take over the entire galaxy, and apparently, from what we have been hearing, is that the Unknown Regions is the only free part of the galaxy as of right now. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.